Hello! Salutations and greetings. My name's Marge. I'm Empath. I just like having these little talks, these little conversations on the way I feel about things. Today I feel pretty good. I got to sun gaze a little bit. I sun gaze with the sun through my eyelids. I don't sun gaze. I've looked at the sun through, I don't know, trees and things like that in the evening. Not in the bright of day, but not that kind of sun gazing. The kind of sun gazing I'm talking about is where I let the freaking feel the heat of the sun all the way back on my sinuses. It feels really good. Got a little bit more sun on my face. So today was a pretty good day. It was more positive than negative, and any day that's more positive than negative, it's a win. Go God! Anyway, so a lot of synchronicities today. The peace dealer put out a talk about, a couple hours ago, it feels like. Maybe it was an hour ago. Unveiling Secrets of the Divine, an hour ago. Moon in Scorpio, Sun in Pisces, and in Vedic on Pisces, Sun and Scorpio Moon. In Western astrology, I'm Scorpio Moon too. That's why my mouth is so sharp. That's why I got a curt mouth. Anyway, he talks about how Pisces, I think he said Pisces was the exclamation point and Scorpio was the question mark. And it made me think of this. I came up with this when I was 9. And then a lady I know put it on this for me. That was a dream of a 9-year-old manifested, as an adult. That's how dreams come true. You think of things when you're a little kid and they just the things that are in line with you stick with you. And then you're drawn to people that you become in alignment with. I'm not in alignment with a lot of people. I mean, people I fall into people's radar every now and again, but I ain't built for the marathons in relationships with people. I'm not. I'm just not. It's not from lack of effort. I always say that one thing or do that one thing, and that's the thing that. Because it's like I'm a contrarian, so I'm always disproving, especially those people that are always tout that they're all about unconditional love. I seem to find their condition. And I'm not even a violent person or anything like that, Thank God I don't drink the booze no more. I don't let the spirits take my spirits. Because when my ego, man, that's when I really burn bridges. Yep. Anyway, so I thought that was cool when he was talking about that. I had to send him a picture of it. I'm like, dude, what you talked about in your video and in Vedic on Pisces Sun, because it made sense. I recommend people getting your birth chart. It's kind of a roadmap to yourself. It's kind of like oh yeah, that's why I do that. And Mike, today, because I woke up and I was listening to Marge astrology. And she's ascending and doing her own thing, and I like to dip in on people, see where they're at and see what's going on with them and their spiritual path. And I dipped in this morning and she was talking about Pisces and Jupiter. And she's like, if you have, I don't remember exactly what she said, I'd have to go back and listen to it earnestly. But she's like, if you have 6-7 degrees in Pisces and Jupiter, this is like the potential of how you could or could not be feeling in this next whatever phase. And I looked mine up and I'm like 7 degrees Jupiter in Pisces. And I was like, all right, hang on, let go, we'll see. I don't know. I already feel better, Mom and I laugh, and it's just like my body, my DNA, just like, hee. People don't, see, that's the thing, is people keep talking about these body tubes and shit like that, these body, and I'm like, dude, you can do that, the comfort, just laughing with your friends, laughter is, in fact, the best medicine, man. It releases all that dis-ease. It gets all that lower vibrational. You can't, it's just, you can't beat it. I saw Texas was opening up. He announced, said, he said, everything's opening up and no more masks next week. And I'm right next door, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll just start dominoing, because people want to start making that money again. So anyway, Jupiter and Pisces. People with Jupiter and Pisces are intuitive and good healers because they play with the subconscious a lot, whether their own or that of other people. As their second ruler of Pisces, Jupiter is in power in this sign. Together with Neptune, Jupiter and Pisces are mystical and spiritual. I find that to be true. Although, I don't really like to play with other people's subconscious because that's bad. It's bad karma. You can't, because, I don't know, people talk about astral travel and projection and all that stuff, and I get it. But that could be loosely related, that could be loosely defined as wondering what somebody's doing. Like, I wonder what they're doing right now. And you know them well enough, you know their schedule, you probably know, and you can sit there and think about what it's like to be in the room with said individual. Well, that, and then you call them up and said individual's like, oh, I was just thinking about you. Well, of course you were, because I was just in the room with you. This is how this stuff works, man. It's fun. Divine. People can just, use it for good or nefarious things or whatever, But, that's how same frequency works. And more and more people are waking up to these possibilities, I've always seen mythical, outworldly thing, other than this worldly things, ever since I was a little girl, because I just have always had a different perception of this reality than the majority of every room I've ever, of people of every room I've ever been in, And here I'm thinking I'm just like everybody else. Everybody's just like me. I'm just like everybody else. And nope. There's a lot of people that just causing harm to other human beings just because they're freaking all twisted up. Because they got their wiring all twisted up in their mind and they started serving different entities and gods and false prophets and stuff like that. So, I knew last week, there's a few days ago, I got a text message. I wanted to say how I was wrong. I was wrong. I see, because I got placements and I'm just like, I can't do it today. And I think I even said something in a talk, I got them in it. And when you see the message and it pops up and you could read the first few words of it. And I read the first few words of it. And I know, and I'm like, well, it's been a long time since we hung out, but I've kept track, and mostly when people keep doing this, people change, but mostly anyway. So I get a message, and it could have been taken several ways, but with the way my planetary alignments were, I'm like, I ain't even playing with it, because I don't want to I don't want to get pissed about something that somebody wasn't trying to be spiteful, right? So I just didn't read the message. And then I read the message today, and it was a heartfelt message, and essentially it was just because I talk shit on Facebook, because I think it's a circle of greed, and I can't believe that, I just can't believe that these stories are still being played out, and I know more and more people see through it and it's a show. It's all a pony show. It's all a pony show. And it's all ritual. And it's all weird. And it's all they all siphon, they all launder entirely too much money to be unuseful human beings. And there's no spirit in that. And whatever your awakening is in this time on this earth, from being, I was made to go within, to look at all of my aspects, all the ones I like and all the ones I don't. Also, 4 years ago, when I moved to Oregon, and it was quickly revealed to me that I could not go back to a 9-to-5 job and leave mom. And so that is when my shift began. And, and my ego death. My ego death too, because Foxy Grandma's live. That's cool. Ooh, with Lexi. They're on Unpolished. Lexi needs to freaking be careful what she's playing with her witchy stuff. Because she's, I don't know. Gotta be careful with that witchy stuff, people. It's a slippery slope, man. Spells and stuff like that, you can't mess with. You gotta let people be who they are. You can't try and change them. And if you say you love them, you gotta love them. Even if they're the fucking shittiest people on the earth. Right? Isn't that what unconditional love is? Dude, I'm kind of... and it was kind of cool, because with that message that I got today, it was kind of a mental health check. It was a check-in, and it was cool. And I told her about Unpolished. That's why it's funny that they're going live. I'm like, dude, because she has sisters, and she and her sisters fight. And I've always been around sisters. I'm like, and I have a half sister, 0.5. Actually, I messaged her a little bit last night. She's like so many. A lot of people are going through a really hard time right now, because times are hard. And then you have these people, so few people, such a few number of people. You could put all these people, they all sit in one room. They worked in less than half a year, and they make decisions that affect so many other people. And they're making bad decisions. And they have been, because they haven't been following the science and the data. They have been following a narrative. 201. That used to be a prefix to my phone number. I used to have 402-201. I had that number for years. Anyway, so that was cool that people are checking in, making sure that people are okay. I try and let people know, I'm like, dude, you want to see how I'm doing? I do YouTube videos about every day. You can see, like, the times that I've gone through a really hard time, too, and people just, here, just watch Marge. Oh, yeah, It's weird. I found out, I got sad because I came to the realization that Northern California doesn't want me in it. That made me sad, man. Because I could picture a life in Northern California, because I grew up there, right? I've never had, like, a place where I had roots, because we just kind of moved back and forth all over, And people wouldn't remember me from one excerpt to the next, but I remember them. So I like to, when I meet people, I have this thing where I can picture them at all ages. It doesn't matter how old they are. I can picture them at, like, all these different freaking aspects of, like, different parts of their life. And, like, what they could be. Based on a 5-minute conversation. Or who they have been. Because a lot of people are just the same. A lot of people just kind of want to... There's a handful of people that have to have the power and the control and do all the weird shit. Yeah. There's a weirdo in every group. The people that have to mess with free will and all that stuff. Hopefully people are rising above it in their vibe. But he's talking frequency now. But how many people can stay in a high vibrational state when you don't even know if you're going to have a freaking keep a roof over your head? You know, and a lot more people have got to experience that, and a lot more people have lost their roof. Mom and I were close. It was hard not to be fearful every day. It was hard to just every moment of every day, even in Arizona. Scary, scary. God made sure that He gave me the strength and provided all the means. And I said the other day that one of my friends that watch Earth Angels, you know, was the reason that got me. She did contribute it she did contribute in a very big way. At the same time, other people did too. You know, a lot of people pitched in to help me and Mom get to a safe place. And I feel like I'm healing. I feel like of just not being in a nervous state, anxious state, you know, every day. And I've been drinking my that's one good thing that I got from a takeaway from there. Chonga tea. Chonga tea. Got my chonga tea I've been drinking. You know. So I was, you know, I just don't want to go to the doctor in this day and age. So Mom and I are pretty healthy though. Yep. We just brushed teeth. She went to bed. So I haven't been sleeping. I don't think I slept at all last night. I think I started to flow through the ethers this morning, probably about 6:30, but I didn't get to fully fall back because that's the time that my day starts, or their day starts. So that's my day starts. But today I was outside when I was picking up poop in the yard that I was mapping it out, and a dear sweet person had said something about you know, planting my garden, and I should have known better. I should have known. That is a phrase that's pretty much, it's kind of been significant in my life. Like on Mom's side, we live with Mom most of the time. Just looked up at the poverty line. We were so poor, just dirt poor. We were those dirty little kids that, you know, had like third, fourth hand clothes and stuff like that. Didn't fit, all that stuff. Anyway, it gives you character. You know, I had this speech impediment. I got made fun of a lot, and I had to learn how to stick up for myself in my life a lot. So, well, over the years, I got pretty good at it. Anyway, what was I saying? My processor is really... Is it hot? Yeah, it's pretty hot. Mom, that's Mom's chair that she used to sit in Oregon. She doesn't sit in it anymore. And it's funny, I was telling her today when she was brushing teeth that I was like, Mom, I said, your hump. She was starting to get that old lady hump. And so now when I see little old ladies or little old men and they got that hump, I get why. They're probably sitting in a chair like that and they fall asleep. And they fall asleep and they lean up against it. And it's habit forming, and that's structurally unsound on them, so it creates an unalignment. But now, since she sits in her rocking chair, it's like corrected. It's like, wow, Mom, that's cool. So, what else? Texas is opening up. There's a lot of people causing harm to their families and other people. A lot of people killing people. A lot of homicides going on right now. People's mental health is just... Yeah, because we're not acting as humans. See, because all these bureaucrats that are making these terrible decisions for the majority of the population of this nation, their life goes on, and they don't have enough freaking. They're fucking narcissists, man. They only think about themselves. And they don't think about the whole nation. They're not thinking about the whole nation. I assure you, they're not. I challenge every bureaucrat, every house, every senate, every person that's it, every congressman. Go, you care about the people that which you serve? Because we all know you don't. Go spend 3 nights and 4 days in all the in the tent cities in your states, because every state has one, and ask these people how they got there. These IT systems. I'm like, why are everybody so urgent to go everything like Bitcoin and all this stuff? Because technology, the human computer interface is shit. And how many people don't use computers? I think how many people just don't even use computers at all. At all. There's more of them. Supposedly, what, 342 million? Is that what they say? It's in the USA? Bullshit. Bullshit. They just say that. So the census can all the plug. It's all money laundering, man. It's all laundering. And there's plenty enough for everybody. You freaking, game that's completely predictable by freaking the planets and the stars. They're freaking playing out this storyline that has been going on since the Greek gods, and they think they're Greek gods, and they're summoning all these weird gods and doing all this weird shit, and there's no spirit in that. So people are gonna figure it out. They're figuring something out. People are figuring something out. I think people are just figuring out that they don't like living the way they're living, and that's how things are going to get is because most people, they don't grow when they're comfortable. People don't, everything's great in life right now. I'm so happy. I have all the things I want. I think I'm going to go on, and go off and do this. They go, be grateful for everything I have, but I'm going to go off and work on this. It's going to get interesting. Hey, if you don't have a family, if you don't have like a community and stuff, it's hard. I assure you that. It is hard for single people. It ain't easy for a lot of people. A lot of people are going through a really hard time. Really hard time. Anyway, so the weather's getting nice and people are getting amped up. So what are they going to do with that amped up energy? Are they going to use that power, that amped up energy for good? Or are they going to use it for their own gain? Oh, there's Zach. I knew he was going to be on there. I missed him late last night. I don't think he came on late last night. Anyway. I used to work at Creighton University. It's a Jesuit university in Omaha, Nebraska. And the head coach, McDermott, was talking shit after a game that Creighton played against Xavier. And I was like, yeah, he was a D-bag. He was a D-bag when I worked there. Look at the guy. It's all ego. When you have a freaking percentage of population that freaking exist on the earth because they can do what they want, say what they want because of who they are. Don't you know who they are? Blah, blah, blah. See, just because you can say things doesn't mean you should. And that's why I quit that job. And now, knowing what I know now, yeah. It was a cush job, too. Cush. That's how they get you. They give you, enough money, comfortable, feed you free lunches every now and again, all the perks and stuff like that. But who was I serving? I was listening to some old music, I was just like, I was listening to what I think about. That's why music is good, because I think it reminds people of where they were like years ago when they listened to these songs with their friends and stuff like that, And then like I was listening to AC/DC, Yeah, they worship Satan, and they all worship Satan, and it's just like, dude, I ain't gonna let Satan and Luciferian tale theater freaking, you know, taint the memories I have of having good times and hanging out with my friends, and I don't think other people should do that either, you know. But there's a lot of people that freaking that have ritual to the Luciferian tale theater, you know, and it's just like all the people that freaking they straight up worship Beyonce, dude. She's one of them high priestesses, and you know what? Black is king. I thought God was king. I must not have got the memo. I thought God was king. But that's what her last album was called or something, or last, I don't know, I don't really track her. And her husband has just given me the heebie jeebies as long as I could, he's always vibe low to me. He's always vibe freaking lizard to me. You know, and people like that, you know, when you know that people have the potential, I mean, everybody has the potential to like be full spectrum. When I say that, be like freaking dark and dirty and stuff like that, and shady and shit. The thing of it is most people don't live in that shadow. A lot of people do. Sometimes they dip into that shadow under circumstances, but mostly people, I think, just want to be decent human beings. But you have the percentage of the population that don't, and they just like to feed. They feed on those people who just want to be decent human beings. You know, the ones that just, unbeknownst to them, that the darkness does not exist, where freaking, you know, people, women are freaking traveling on interstates out in the middle of nowhere, and, you know, two truckers freaking corner her and run her off the road, and they never see her again and stuff like, you know, all this stuff. All these storylines come out. It's all real. People are like, it doesn't happen. It's just like, dude, it's amazing that it hasn't happened to anyone that you know yet. Anyway, I think that's about all I got for now. Just wanted to reach out. Hope you have a